Hello students, I'm Anshul Sharma, your educator. So we have been discussing the different concepts that are asked for your UGC NET exam. Today also we are going to discuss one topic that is important that we are going to discuss. This topic is from teaching aptitude, that is unit 1. So today's topic that we are going to discuss is the self-regulated learning. So there are different theories of learning, and each year we saw that there were one or two questions being asked from these theories. The theories of Erik Erikson, the theories of Jean Piaget, or the moral development theory of Kohlberg. These were the few theories. They were, the questions were asked definitely from these theories. Now in this unit, in this time, in 2022, we saw one question from a very different theory, and this theory is called as the self-regulated learning theory. Now, the question that was asked was as follows. In this video, we are first going to see the question that was asked in your 2022 examination. Then we'll see the answer. We'll also discuss in greater detail what is this self-regulated learning theory and how is it different from the metacognition. Now let us read the question. The question is, cyclical phases or the sub-processes of self-regulated learning model by Zimmerman operates as how? So it is, the options are, and you have to make a cyclical pattern out of it. So it is task analysis, self-motivation beliefs, self-control, self-observation, self-judgment, and self-reaction. So these are the few options, and you have to make a cyclical process. This is a model that is given by whom? It is given by Zimmerman, and he talks about how you actually self-regulate yourself. This is how you learn better, by self-regularization. So what is the right answer? The right answer is A. That means it is already in the chronological order. First of all, there will always be task analysis. Then there will be self-motivation beliefs. That means self-motivation will happen. Then there will be self-control. So A, B, C, D being the correct answer. There will be self-observation, self-judgment, and last but not the least, there will be self-reaction. So A is the right answer. A, B, C, D, E, F. Already this is in the pattern. Now let us study about the model. So Zimmerman in 1998 suggested that there is this psychological or social cognitive model. This model talks about the art of self-regulation. Now, self-regulation and self-regulated learning are also two different things. Now, what is self-regulation? When, first of all, take an example. In the class, there is a child sitting and he or she is studying. I am teaching and he is studying. What is the person doing? The person, I think, is gaining all the facts, and he is trying to register all the facts that I am saying. But what if he is not paying attention to what I am saying? So yes, the process is correct. He understood that he has to attend the class, come to the class and understand this topic because it is correct, whatever the teacher is telling him. But he is not mentally present. So what if he is writing the answer, writing what the explanation that I am talking, and because of which he is not able to understand the topic also. This is also one scenario that happens in the classroom. You are so engrossed in writing what the teacher is saying that you forgot to at least register it. So what all are these two things? Self-regulation means you know what is correct for you. You know that you have to regularize your own thought process, and you need to understand the things. While self-regulation learning is being motivated and process is followed to understand the things properly. So one is a process and one is a quality that you should have. These two are very different from metacognition, and we'll look at that also. But before that, let us study about this self-regulated learning model by Zimmerman that came around 1998. According to this model, self-regulation is achieved in cycles. You achieve self-regulation, learning by self-regulation. You ask yourself, you boost yourself, you motivate yourself to learn better, and it is a cyclical process. It consists of about 3 broader sections. This is first is foregrowth, then there is performance or the volitional control, then there is the self-reflection. So what all are the other criteria that are there? We'll be reading that. Self-regulated learning is a cyclical process wherein students plan for a task, they monitor their own performance, and then they reflect on the outcome. Was the outcome achieved or not? Cyclical phases are as follows. The first is your task analysis. You will analyze the task. You will set an objective for you. This objective is the task that you have decided to do. My task is to understand this model. That is the task I have undertaken right now. Then I will self-motivate myself. I'll have some belief that yes, it was asked once, it can be asked again also. So this is self-motivational beliefs that will help me study the concepts properly. I am not getting engaged in other other zones, but I am very much focused on this model. Then there will be self-control. I will be dedicated to understand the model because I know the importance of the model. Then there will be self-observation. I'll observe that am I understanding the concepts or not? Then I will judge it, that I will perform, or maybe I'll take a test, and was I able to mark the answers correctly? That's a judgment. I will judge it, I can apply it, I'll analyze it, and I will synthesize it as well. Then there will be a self-reaction. So then I'll understand, is it correct or is it not? Was the objective that I decided attained or not? This is basically the model that he gave. So Zimmerman talked about these zones. The first, as I told you, is the forethought phase. In this forethought phase, there is always the task analysis. According to him, the child can learn and can learn better through the cognitive growth. So this cognitive growth is nothing but a cyclical process. Cognitive, that means the mental growth that you will have, always comes in a cyclical process. So what is it? With each passing task, your knowledge would grow. So firstly, you will do task analysis. This task analysis is the setting of the goal. You will set your own goals. You will do strategic planning, that how can I understand these topics? How can I make myself remember it for a longer period of time? This is what? This is setting of the goals and objectives. Then you'll self-motivate yourself. What is self-motivation? It starts with self-efficacy. Knowing yourself, having self-competency can be the right word that I can use here. So this is, I have some outcome expectations and I know I need to understand it. Then I have intrinsic value. I have intrinsic motivation. What is intrinsic motivation? It is coming within me, and it is not some external force that is motivating me. So intrinsic motivation is coming from inside. Extrinsic is the teacher is forcing you to learn it. So when you are intrinsically motivated, then only you will self-regulate yourself. Then you have the learning goal orientation. Now I know I have to do it. I'm self-motivated. This is self-motivation. Then comes the second phase, that is the performance phase. While I am performing, I should have self-control, not to get myself distracted and indulge in other things. So no imaginary concepts should be there. Self-instruction, attention should be focused to the task strategies that I have decided. I know that I have to learn this model. I will not skip the video. Maybe in YouTube there will be ad in between, but I know that I have to come back again and finish the video to learn this model. Then there will be self-observation. I will do self-recording. I'll do self-experimentation. That is the model correct? Have I understood the things or not? Can I move forward? Then comes the third and the final phase according to him, and he said this is the self-reflection phase. Now you will judge yourself. Now you will self-evaluate. This is a casual attribution that you are given. You will self-judge yourself. You will see that have I understood it? I have applied it. Was the outcome achieved? Then the last is self-reaction. Here you will attain self-satisfaction. You understood the things. Now I can move forward. This is self-satisfaction. An effect is created. Now you have adapted yourself to learn these things. This is how, according to Zimmerman, you learn the things. So the first phase is the forethought phase. This phase precedes the actual performance phase. This is a phase in which you are standing and you are planning. So this is the action phase. Set the stage for action. Map out the task to minimize the unknown distractions that would come. It helps to develop positive mindset. There are realistic expectations from the task that will come here if you know what you have to do. So setting of the task should be correct, then only you can achieve it. Goals must be set according to the specific outcomes. Arrange them in a proper short-term and long-term goals. Then only you will be able to achieve it. If it is too much of a long-term goal, then what will happen? It will only create an havoc and you won't be able to structure your task. So structure and plan it in a proper manner. Then comes the performance phase. This performance control phase involves the process during which you are learning and you are actively utilizing the strategies that you have decided to become a successful student. Then the self-reflection phase involves reflection after the performance. That is self-evaluation. You compare your thoughts, you compare your goals, that have you achieved it or not. This is how you learn. So first of all, there is forethought. Then there is the performance phase, and then you self-regularize or you self-reflect yourself. That have I understood it or not. This was the phase that Zimmerman gave. Now these, as I told you initially, that this self-regulation or self-regulated learning are two different things. Now these are also very different than metacognition. So we always get confused. What is metacognition? Metacognition is the process of thinking. So thinking about thinking is metacognition. There are different things that we are targeting on. Yes, it is also a way of planning, doing things, analyzing things, evaluating things. With metacognition, all of these things come into being. But metacognition is different than the self-regulated learning. A student who is self-motivated will regularize the thought. That is the emotion. So he is a self-regulated learner. Self-regulated learning, he will follow the strategies, he will plan the things in a proper manner, and thinking about doing all these things makes him a better person as it is. That is what? That is the cognitive growth, the metacognitive growth that he has already achieved. So a student should have what? He or she should know how to control their own thoughts, then how to do self-regulated learning, so that the learning becomes easy, and then using your own thoughts in a proper manner. Structuring your thoughts so that you can learn things is metacognition. Right? I hope these things are clear to you. I tried to make it as lucid as possible. If you don't understand anything, you can write it in the comment section. I'll surely reply to you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you.